Reggae interviews. Word sound power.
This is Janet Jazzi Marks for Reggae Interviews. Today we'll be doing a virtual reasoning with one of the most gifted singers, songwriters and producers to come out of Jamaica. Her first album was released in June 2008 and called The Strong One, featuring tracks like Warrior King, I Am Not Afraid and Blessings, featuring the great Alba Rosie. After that, she's released 5 more hit albums, 2 that reached #1 in the American reggae charts. And today we'll be talking about her new project and her new release. Blessings and welcome to Reggae Interviews, Etana, the Strong One.
Thanks for having me.
No problem at all. So how are you today and whereabouts in the world are you?
I'm doing fantastic, and I'm right now in the state of Florida, in the United States.
You see, I would much rather be there doing this interview, but never mind, you know, we just have to work with it all right now.
Trust me, I know what it's like in the UK. Been there a couple of times. Well, I know.
Well, yes, I mean, when I got the interview, when we got the green light for the interview, it had me remembering the first time I saw you live. And it was actually in Rotterdam, 2010. Remember you turned up with no hair products and somebody lent you some hair products? You remember it?
I know, I don't remember, but thank you.
Yeah, I mean, at that time, I met Tommy and Clive at the same time, and they've been great friends ever since, you know? So I know you're quite tight with Tommy and Clive. So yes, ever since.
Thank you.
Well, you know what? I always thought that I was one of your biggest fans, but up until recently, I did not realize that Etana meant the strong one.
Yes, it means a strong one. And it also means strength and power in other languages too. So Swahili isn't the only one. No.
All right, that's good. So the reason why they call you strong and powerful, meaning that sometimes Etana is not easy.
True, I agree.
All right.
I mean, I'm a fun person. I'm very playful. I like to, pull pranks and stuff like that. But I'm also when it comes to, music and what I expect of the people who work with me, I could be very tough. And I'm my worst critic, and I'm the hardest on myself. But I think it's a good thing that I am, because it helps me to stay, rooted, focused, and driven.
You know what, that shows in your music, and just listening to this new project, the album called Pamoja, which means together in Swahili as well. There's a theme going here. I didn't actually realize how closely together meant until I listened to the whole project. And the whole project is definitely, as you mentioned, a fusion of Kingston and Africa. Wow.
Together.
It's absolutely amazing,
Thank you.
I mean, I loved it, but we won't talk about that yet. We'll talk about the new release Baby O, featuring Vybz Kartel. I mean, just when I heard that, I went, Vybz Kartel, what a unusual collaboration. But you know what? It works. And all the feedback I hear from people saying that, boy, it's an unexpected collaboration, but it really works. It's really a pretty love song and not what you're expecting. How did that project come about?
I've always wanted to work with him, and my team figured, since we're doing an album called Pamoja, meaning together, that we should just collaborate with a few people that I love and know and would love to work with. And my team contacted his team, and after they got the track and they sent it back completed, I thought it was just wicked. I thought that Kartel was very he purposefully wrote the lines to be, to kind of fit with everything that I am. And I think that was just so brilliant of him. He is very creative, as we know. And a lot of people thought that it was going to be raunchy, but again, Kartel is very intelligent and he knows exactly what he's doing.
Yes, yeah. It looked like he really studied you as an individual and set things at the right level. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was
yeah. I think everything was on purpose. Yeah.
a beautiful track, you know. I mean, a lot of people know in the music business that people cannot work in two, you know, not always there is a musician stood in a studio and another musician who's collaborating, standing right next to them. Sometimes people are at different parts of the world, but this was just like, I was like, wow, how this work now? But it's really, it was beautiful. I actually can say it's a beautiful song, and I was really pleasantly surprised, you know, that it wasn't raunchy. I was thinking, which direction Etana going in? But I really like the track.
Yeah, the direction, my direction, it hasn't changed. You know, the music is still inspiring. There always will be a message, even if it's fun and light, like proper. You
Yeah.
want me to hand it over? I mean, it's still talking about what, men and women talk about when they meet or how they feel, even if words aren't said, and but the message is still the same. A man has to step to a woman proper, and she also too has to have her things in order and herself in order. So I mean, it just sounds light and to me fresh and poppy, but at the end of the
Yes.
day, it's still
Yeah,
very
it's
much
really,
message driven.
yeah, it's really like, you know, when you listen to something and it's uplifting, you know, it was uplifting and nice, you know. So,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know,
Thank you.
I like to say congratulations on the project. I mean, I've already said I listened to it and I had to keep listening. It was on, what do you call it, rotation, you
A
know,
loop.
because yeah, once you listen it once, then you start studying, then you start looking up the artist, thinking, "Oh, I never heard about this person before." And you know, I mean,
Yeah,
I think there's only 3 tracks on the album that you sing by yourself without a collaboration.
right.
You know,
Um, I think even there is a version of one of the songs on there that I'm by myself, but it actually is going to be with someone. It's just not on the version of the album you may have now. But the majority of the album is very much the same. And yeah, there are some artists that you may not have heard from before, but they are, very popular people in their country and in
yes,
their town where they're from. Like they're super popular. So
yeah,
I'm happy that my audience will get to listen to them and even try to find out who they are, and
yes.
so too their audience will listen to me and figure and try to find out who I am. I think it will work for all of us.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, there is the track with Fiji. I mean, he's Fijian. He lives in Hawaii. The song, I mean, it took me back to Gregory Isaacs' tuning. 2000, was it no 1998? It took me back when I
Real
heard the bass
roots.
line coming in. It wasn't what I was expecting. I was like, oh, this really reminded me of the old Gregory track tuning from 1998. It was a beautiful track, and I just thought, wow, you know, you're blending the world together.
Exactly. I mean, I don't think there's ever going to be a project where I leave off, roots reggae. I mean, like, oh, I'm totally flipping it. Like, even if I do flip it, I'm still going back to the core, and the core is roots reggae, dancehall. Um, I think I'm going to carry it with me for a long time. And so, yeah, I don't think anybody should ever expect, oh, Etana, go
Yeah,
totally raunchy or flip it or totally dancehall. I'm just creative. I'm a creative person, but I think by now my fans know who I am and
hmm,
know what I will and will not do. And so um, I'm looking forward to people seeing another side of me,
yes,
but at the same time seeing exactly who they know me to be,
yeah,
all in one.
yeah. I mean, my favorite track on the album, I've got to say, is Malaika. You know, not just because I'm
Really?
assuming it's that Swahili it's in. I don't know what
Yes,
you have to do it
Swahili.
again in English, so I understand what you're saying. But my gosh, it really took me. Yeah, my favorite.
It's basically saying, my angel, I love you. And so after all the messages that I've done about, relationship and legacy and women, doing all the sensual things that we should do and all of the stuff and all of the message, the keeping of the culture and the music with vibes, and after all the message is done on the album, at the end, I say, "My angel, I love you. My angels, I love you."
You know, it really got me. To me, that is my spiritual track. You know, I mean, your track with Stonebwoy hit me in a different way. You know, I mean, Stonebwoy. I know Stonebwoy as an artist, and I thought, whoa, you know, I have to listen to this one because it's kind of like I'm curious. You know, and I listened to it, and it's just a fusion of Afro beats and reggae and everything. And it was just, I mean, all I can say is when the album comes out, it's going to be a pleasant surprise for everyone. I really enjoyed every track,
I hope
everything.
so.
I mean, the track he did with Alba Rosie is a complete switch on Blessings. It's totally different. It's more of a
Yeah, you see?
dancehall, upbeat
Yeah.
reggae. Yeah. You know, so how was it working with Alba Rosie again on a completely different kind of vibe?
I mean, I've done songs with Alvarosi that's not a love song, like Healing Tree, the ganja
Yeah.
song. And I've done another song, which is like a love song to my mother and to all the women in my life. And Alvarosi is cool to work with. He's very talented. The man can build a guitar from scratch.
Well,
You know, he plays every instrument. He can mix and master his own music. He's incredible. He's talented. He's super, super
he
incredible.
collects instruments and things like that as well. I heard he collects instruments and things that are historical.
He's
Um,
seriously musical.
yeah,
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 yeah.
I like the track. I like the difference, you know. But
Thank
you know,
you.
Alberosi is somebody who's a solid artist, and then there's Junior Gong in it, you know, in a Junior Gong style. You know, I really,
Yeah,
yeah, man, I really really like
I
that track.
think Junior Gong really chewed up that track. I love his verse. Um, and I love the fact that he responded as soon as he did and took the music as seriously as he did. And the recording was just wicked, out of this world.
I mean, you've been working really hard in the pandemic. Is this the second album you're releasing during this
This is
period? There was Gemini last year, is that right?
There was Dimensions before Gemini. There was Dimensions, Gemini, and then Pamoja. So 3 albums. Dimensions was an EP, intended to be an EP, but it ended up having 8 tracks on there.
Wow.
So Dimensions is an album. Um, uh, Gemini, Gemini is an album that was released in 2020, and then Pamoja will be released in 2021. So when I do get on the road and it's time to tour, I will have 3 albums of songs that are brand new.
Wow, what a lot of material, you know?
That's a
And then
lot.
people, and I'm sure people still gonna beg for the old favorites and things like that.
Oh, I'm gonna do. Listen, I hope that when I get on stage to perform, that I'm gonna have enough time to put everything in, because the old favorites is almost like 1 hour straight already. So to drop in some more in there, oh boy,
You're gonna
my
have to
my
let go
my
of some,
stage
man.
time. I know, or I'm gonna have to like do. I don't know. I'll figure it out.
See, you know, I mean, a lot of artists are doing lots of different things during the lockdown. One thing I haven't
Mm.
seen you do is a live performance during the lockdown period. Didn't that appeal
I
to
did
you?
a live. I did a live, but I did it early last year.
Okay.
Right. I think I probably did it like in the mid of last year. Um, I don't know if I'm gonna do a live again, and if I do, it's definitely gonna be different from the first one. And I do have it in mind, but it's gonna take a little bit more structuring and organization to get it done exactly how I want it to be.
Okay. Right. Okay. Now, a lot of people think they know Etana, and
Hmm.
you know, you say you come from Augustown in Kingston, but as an English person, I don't really know which part of Kingston Augustown is in. Is it east, west, north, or south? You know, whereabouts is Augustown?
It's closer to the east, cause you can climb over the hill. You can, if you go over the hill that separates, like there's a quarry. So if you go over the quarry, you'll end up over Corville side. And if you take the road from Harbour Drive all the way down, you can go down to Bull Bay and over to St. Thomas in that direction.
Where my people come from.
There
So
you go.
to get to there, you have to, is Rockford anywhere near there? Because I'm thinking the east. That's,
Rockford, yes. Yes.
I know a little bit. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's in the same direction. Like if you were to drive the regular road to Harborview and to the airport, you have to pass Rockford.
Okay. I mean, I hear so many stories about Augustown and, how tough it is to grow up there. But, watching the way that you are, I believe it was a good thing because it's made you strong and determined and hardworking and somebody that really is going to fight and battle their way through, no matter what things have come up, what things you've come up against. I'm sure you've come up against lots of obstacles in your career that if you didn't grow up in that place, you wouldn't have been able to get through.
Yeah, maybe if I never seen the spirit of my grandmother and my aunts and seen my mother, I probably would have been a different person. But throughout my journey, I've learned that we're not here forever, and I want to make use of every hour of the day, every month of the year, and every year that I have the chance to live and to I don't know, make my light shine. Um, and so I think that we are much more than we see each other to be. And in my strength and in my spirit and in my life, I must exist with much force. And so that's my intention and to do nothing less.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, in the industry now, I mean, I know you started singing a long time before you put out your debut album.
Mm.
Who was the first person in the industry when you started taking the music serious and you went back to Jamaica to take it serious? Which person, DJ or somebody in the industry, was the first person to give you a strength to help you up the ladder as such?
He's living in the UK now. Um, the first person to give me a mic was called Nigel, and I'm calling Bombshell in England now. And that's when he was living in Augustown, and I was 8 years old, and he gave me that mic, right? And then now, um, Richie Spice I was a backup singer for Richie Spice, and I did that for a short time, for a short period before it came around to maybe a year that I was asked to write my own song, and after writing Wrong Address, um, soon after that, I was told that I can't perform with Richie Spice anymore, and I had to go on my own. And
What?
so, mhm. Can you imagine how devastated I was because I was told that right at the side of the stage before going on that I can't go on the stage anymore. And so,
Wow.
yeah, it broke my heart, but I mean, here I am today.
I wonder why that wasn't, I mean, sometimes we never
Well, I
know.
guess Wrong Address was so popular, and so people no longer saw me as a background vocalist, but saw me as Etana, and they probably did not want um, there to be a distraction on the stage when
Yeah.
Richie Spice is performing because the song was very, very popular now. And so me getting on the stage when it was his show, people may be singing, thinking, okay, is she gonna sing the song? All kind of things could happen. So I guess it was a good decision on their part as management.
It's a funny thing that you mentioned that song, Wrong Address. I was going to bring it up as it is the first song of yours that really impacted with me. It taught me something about Jamaica that I didn't know. I mean, my parents are Jamaican, and believe you me, they spend every moment of their time giving me my heritage. I've been there so many times, I can't count. I spent so much time over there. And when I heard Wrong Address, I had no idea that you could be biased by I mean, over here we have postcode, my
It's the
gosh.
same thing. It's the same thing. It's the same system. It's the same thing spread across the world, believe it or not, because I thought that it was just in Jamaica too, until someone in Washington, D.C. Did an interview with me at the time. And she said, it's funny that you may sing the song and your experience came from Jamaica, But as far as I know, we live this every day here. So it's the same system stretched across the world.
You know, I have to say again, thank you, because your music is educating even people that, you know, who believe that they already have that information. So, you know, I'm learning more things in life about the place that my parents come from, you know. So yeah, it was very, you know, it's a very important track to me. Any future projects, anything you have in the pipeline?
No, just the video for the Baby O song, and maybe another video after that. And the release of the album, and some shows in Atlanta, North Carolina, South Carolina, other places throughout America, until slowly I can get to other countries, hopefully UK soon. But you know, we have to go with the times and their system, however it works. Um, and two, I have to decide how I'm gonna deal with it all. Um, you know, so I'm gonna take it one day at a time.
Yes.
And when
Yes.
it's time, and however I can, if I can, I will be able to tour again like I used to. That's what I'm hoping for now, that this somehow will, you know, magically get straightened out by all the people who are not sure about what's going on, and then today they know and tomorrow they don't know. Um, it's a serious thing that we're all are going through, and so I'm gonna take my time, go day by day, and I hope that everybody is able to do the same.
Yeah. So how the children enjoyed having you home so much?
They love it. They're excited that I'm home every day. And as soon as they see me going anywhere, they're like, "Where are you going? Are you going to the studio? What are you doing? Where are you going?" Yeah, so I'm sure they're enjoying it, you know, more than I thought they would have.
Have you been homeschooling them and things like that?
I teach them every day. My 4-year-old is reading, and I make her read every day. She has to read a book to me every day. It's like maybe 5 or 6 pages in the book, but she has to read a book every day. And then the 8-year-old has to read a chapter every day. And she has a book that has 15 chapters in it.
Oh,
And each time that book is finished, she has to get another one. And the 4-year-old loves to do math. And she will do it till she fall asleep. That's how much she loves math. And
wow.
so, yeah, and the other one is into science and the insides and how it works and all of this stuff. So every
I,
day is an adventure.
I heard you're a big reader yourself, though. I heard you like to read.
I love to read. Um, I think when I was with child, the 4-year-old, when she was in my belly, I was going to school, and for the whole term, I chose to do 2 math terms, and I think that's why she's into math so much. And then me, I read every day because I like to learn. I like to learn new things, um, and I don't think that ever will end. I'm always gonna be learning.
That is a very, very good thing. I mean, it helps you also with material to write because, you know, did you write all the tracks on the album?
Majority of the tracks on the album, I wrote them. I did have writers on the album to help, just so that um, sometimes you hear an album from an artist, and every time they do an album, the album sounds the same way. I try to avoid that by mixing people together, mixing sounds together, and you know, try to do things a little bit different each time.
Well, it's working. I don't think I've listened to two projects that you've done that sound the same, you know,
Same way,
even
no.
though, you know, I mean, nowadays I can't even say there's a Etana style, everything. I mean, after listening to this album, I definitely can't say that it's so modern, you know, it's so now, you know, and I just thought, wow, look how she's mixed now and then together, you know, you know.
Bringing it forward.
Yeah, yeah, and it's good because you have to take time with people. You can't just jump, you know. And it was
Yeah.
really nice because I mean, Afrobeats is a thing, you know, and I'm so glad that we're embracing our African musical roots, you know. But the
Mm.
way that you've taken it into Jamaica and Jamaica into Africa, because the Africans love and respect our artists, You know, I just thought to
just keep
myself,
flipping it.
yeah, it was like, you know, homage to them, like you were, you know, giving them an honor as well and blessing them up as well. So I really, you know, I was
Yeah.
very impressed with the project, you know.
Thank you so much.
Now, I'm going to ask you to do something for the viewers, you know, just say something to them or do something for them that, you know, they can benefit from Etana.
If I were your baby, oh, I would give you so much more, baby. I would give you everything, darling. You won't ever need nothing. I'd give you all my love.
I love. Yes, I
Makes you want
mustn't
to
give up
sing,
my
right?
day. Pardon? No, I mustn't give up my day job. It definitely is not me, you know.
Because Liva, I would like to say to everybody when the album comes, listen, stream, share, and live and love life is the greatest gift. You know, never give up, keep working hard, keep working smart, and never give up.
Well, Etana, it has been a complete blessing to have you here with us at Reggae Interviews. It's been a blessing, and thank you so much.
Reggae Interviews. Word Sound Power.